Welcome back. In about 90 minutes, Hunter Biden's federal gun trial set to resume in Delaware, the second week kicking off as we wait to see if Hunter himself will testify. Joining us right now is Fox News legal analyst Gregg Jarrett. Greg, good morning to you.
Good morning, Steve.
Okay, so what are the possibilities that Hunter Biden, after all that damaging testimony, is going to say, you know what, I want to sit down and explain it all?
Yeah, I think it's close to 0%. He'd get shredded on cross-examination and open the door to more rebuttal witnesses who would make him look even more guilty. His problem is there's no defending the indefensible. The evidence is overwhelming. He lied. He incriminated himself on the laptop and his own book. Witnesses confirmed the lie. Remember, prosecutors, Steve, don't have to prove that he was addicted on the day of the purchase, only the general time frame. They've done that easily. So in a normal case, this would be a hasty conviction. But, you know, it's Delaware. It's the Biden's personal fiefdom and a friendly jury.
That's right. And as we said during the Trump trial, it just takes one because, and we remember from jury picking, every person on this jury said, yeah, I know somebody who was addicted to drugs or alcohol or something like that. So there's a sympathetic, undercurrent there, along with the fact there could be jury nullification. Oh, let's not do that.
Yeah. You know, his main defense is really quite desperate, that he was so addicted that he was in denial about his addiction, therefore didn't knowingly lie. But under the law, being addled by drugs is not a defense, which means, as you point out, Steve, his real defense is a combination of sympathy for a recovering addict and jury nullification. Ignore the facts, disregard the law. It doesn't matter that the Supreme Court has said, you know, juries have no right to negate the law. They do it anyway because the secrecy of deliberations protects them. They can do as they please and not explain it.
The other thing that we don't know exactly what the impact has been, but the First Lady has been in the front row every day of the trial. Today, the President of the United States is in Delaware. He's got nothing on his schedule until 5 or 6 o'clock tonight. He flies back to the White House for a Juneteenth concert. Can you imagine if the President of the United States showed up during closing arguments and jury instructions? What message that would send to the people in that jury box who, in that state, 60% of them voted for Joe Biden.
You know, the Bidens have a long and disgraceful record of influence peddling. Maybe it extends to trying to unduly influence a jury with Joe suddenly showing up. I think that's pretty risky and foolhardy. It would look like such an overt act to try to send a visual message to the jurors that, hey, I'm the president. This is my state. You owe it to me. I think that might boomerang against him. But, you know, if nothing else, Steve, this trial has finally blown the lid off of the big lie that the laptop was stolen or Russian disinformation. Right. The first witness put that one to rest.
Let's see what happens. In about 90 minutes, it all kicks off. Greg, thank you very much.
Okay. Thanks.
You bet. I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.